There's a man in every group who never says much. He is not the loudest. He is not the funniest. He is not the one with the big plan. But when he says he will do something, it gets done. When he says he will be there, he is there. And somehow, without ever asking for it, he is the one people trust with the truth, the one people trust with the decision, the one people quietly hand power to. This is not charisma. This is not luck. Psychologists have a name for what he has built, and it is far more powerful than confidence, more powerful than charm, and far easier to build than either one. Fact 1. Trust is not given. IT is built one brick at a time. Here is the first thing psychology tells us about trust. It is never handed over all at once. Researchers studying interpersonal trust describe it as something constructed piece by piece through consistent, observable behavior over time. Doing what you say you will do again and again is the foundation. Reliability in small things, showing up on time, following through on a small promise, builds the confidence that lets people believe you in bigger things later. Inconsistency, on the other hand, breeds doubt almost instantly. One broken promise can undo dozens of kept ones. This means every small commitment you keep is not a small thing at all. It is a brick in a wall that eventually becomes unshakable. Most people are trying to impress others with a single dramatic gesture. The reliable man is quietly laying bricks nobody else notices, until one day the wall is impossible to ignore. Fact 2. You are being sorted into one of 4 boxes right now. Every person you meet is silently running a calculation on you, and psychologists have mapped exactly what that calculation looks like. It is called the stereotype content model, and it shows that when people size someone up, they are almost entirely judging them along 2 dimensions. The first is warmth, meaning how trustworthy and well-intentioned you seem. The second is competence, meaning how capable you seem. Depending on where you land on those 2 scales, you get sorted into one of 4 emotional boxes in someone's mind. High warmth and low competence gets you pity. High competence and low warmth gets you envy or even quiet resentment. Low on both gets you contempt. But high on both, trustworthy and capable at the same time, is the one combination that produces genuine admiration. Reliability is the fastest, most efficient way to score high on both dimensions simultaneously. Every kept promise signals warmth. Every promise kept well signals competence. You are not just being liked when you are reliable. You are being quietly placed into the rarest and most respected category the human mind has. Fact 3. Predictability is a gift you give to everyone else's nervous system. Uncertainty is exhausting for the human brain. Every time another person cannot predict what you will do next, their mind has to spend energy modeling every possible version of you. Researchers studying social cognition have found that when someone experiences another person as consistent, trust rises almost automatically because the brain no longer has to run that constant background calculation. In other words, being predictable is not boring. It is a form of relief you hand to every single person around you. This is why unreliable people, even talented or exciting ones, quietly exhaust the group over time. Nobody can relax around them. But a reliable man lets everyone else's guard come down. And when people can finally relax around you, they start including you in the decisions that matter because you have become the one variable in the room they never have to worry about. Fact 4. Every promise you keep to yourself makes you actually more capable. Reliability does not just change how others see you. It rewires how capable you actually become. Psychologist Albert Bandura's research on self-efficacy shows that confidence is not something you think your way into. It is built through what he called mastery experiences, small real successes that accumulate over time. Every time you follow through on something you told yourself you would do, you're not just proving something to other people. You are feeding your own nervous system evidence that you are someone who finishes what he starts. That evidence compounds. People with high self-efficacy take on harder challenges, persist longer through setbacks, and recover faster from failure, precisely because their track record with themselves is strong. This is the part almost nobody talks about. Reliability is not just a social strategy. It is a private contract with yourself, and every time you honor it, you become measurably more capable of honoring the next one. Fact 5. Reliability is expensive, and that is exactly why it works. Anyone can claim to be trustworthy. Words are cheap. What makes reliability different is that it costs something real. Showing up when you're tired, following through when it is inconvenient, keeping your word when breaking it would be easier, all of that carries a real price in time, effort, and comfort. And that price is precisely what makes it believable. A costly signal is one that cannot be faked cheaply. And that is why people trust actions over promises every single time. A man who talks about loyalty means very little. A man who has quietly paid the cost of loyalty for years means almost everything. This is why reliability cannot be rushed or performed for an audience. Its entire value comes from the fact that it was inconvenient, and you did it anyway, usually when nobody was even watching. Fact 6. The group eventually hands the reliable man the keys. Here is where all of this quietly converges. Groups, whether it is a family, a team, or a friendship circle, are constantly searching for someone to informally hand decisions to. Not the loudest person, not even the smartest person, the one whose word has never once needed to be double-checked. Because warmth and competence together produce admiration. And admiration is the emotional precursor to deference. The reliable man ends up absorbing informal authority almost without trying. Nobody votes on it. Nobody announces it. It simply becomes obvious over time that when something truly matters, he is the one people call first. This is the quiet mechanism behind almost every real leader who never asked to lead. Power did not come from taking it. It came from years of small, boring, unglamorous consistency that eventually became impossible to overlook. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man should be like a rock against which the waves keep crashing. The waves do not stop coming, but the rock does not move, and in time it is the sea that grows tired, not the stone. That is what reliability actually is. Not a personality trait, not something you are born with, but a decision you renew every single day to be the one constant in a world that is constantly shifting. You do not need to be the loudest man in the room. You do not need to be the most impressive. You simply need to be the one whose word, once given, never has to be checked twice. That is the whole superpower. It was never hidden because it was complicated. It was hidden because almost nobody has the patience to practice something this quiet for this long. If this gave you something to think about, the most reliable thing you can do right now is simple. Subscribe so the next one finds you when it is ready.